it got to the point where I really understood that these episodes of pain were not negative things. They're opportunities to rewire your brain. When your brain wants to go down one route of chronic pain, you rewire it and force it to go down another route. That's the whole point of neuroplasticity and brain retraining. You're retraining it to go a different route.
I can take on anything now in my life.
I'm now currently living a life in which I never thought I would be able to ever live again.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miguel here, and today I want to talk about the #1 brain retraining exercise that helped me recover the most. And so, if I were to list all the exercises that I did for brain retraining, like I'd lose track of them. There are probably a dozen or so. But the #1 exercise that helped, and the one that my doctor said that would help the most, that he had me doing it every day when I was in recovery, was this exercise where I visualize the pain centers in my brain increasing and glowing, and then kind of dimming out and the light going down. So what does that mean? What are even the brain centers in the brain? What is that? So they did studies showing that there's 16 centers in your brain meant for processing pain. Now I'm going to break it down. Basically, your brain has 16 pain centers. Now these centers are not just for pain, they're also for processing other senses like smell, taste, touch, sound, things like that. I'll list the rest right here. But essentially, those areas in your brain are meant for processing all of those things along with pain. So what happens is, over time, if you're in chronic pain, you're constantly feeling pain over long periods of time, what happens is, typically maybe it's like 10% pain, 90% senses. Well, in extreme cases, those areas of your brain can actually shift to 50% pain processing and 50% sensory processing. So what that means is you could hear a sound, you could see a bright light, you could feel a touch, and it will actually process pain, which is crazy. That explains why when you hear loud sounds, when you're in lots of bright settings, maybe someone turns the lights on, maybe something's too noisy, it can cause headaches and things like that. That's because it triggers the pain centers in your brain. It's too stimulating for you. So there's an article written by Dr. Moskowitz, I believe it's pronounced Moskowitz. Essentially, it's talking about how to retrain the brain. And see, the problem with most people is they want things that have immediate results. Now, if you want something that's immediate results, obviously the easiest thing is inhaling, exhaling, doing deep breathing exercises. But if you do that alongside with this, you'll get some pretty solid results. But to get lasting results, to the point where you no longer have to practice them and the results, you feel them kind of indefinitely, you need to practice some kind of brain retraining. For chronic pain specifically, you need to practice it for 4 to 6 weeks without seeing any results for it to have an effect. And that's why most people, it's so hard for them to get out of that chronic pain pattern. It's all right, I feel like there's something crawling in the bushes behind me. Anyways, it typically, people need to be dedicated and motivated to get rid of the pain. And what happens is, in that article, he specifically says, you need to see every episode of pain as an opportunity to rewire your brain. And so for me, I remember when I started really getting better, I would push myself to actually look and try to cause these symptoms to come up. So that way, when I feel that pain, then immediately I'm trying to refocus my brain on something else and reshift it to something else. And so that's something I can touch on in another video, but essentially the exercise is, you want to imagine these pain centers in your brain. Think about them like glowing areas. When you feel pain, let's say for me, a lot of it was like tension headaches and tension behind my eyes when I started getting better and I started looking at screens more. So you want to close your eyes and imagine, you inhale, you imagine those centers in your brain glowing molten hot red. When you inhale, they glow more. Then when you exhale, you see those kind of red areas just slowly fading away. And you inhale again, see those areas expanding, exhale, see those areas dimming down. And so what that does, it gives your body and your brain the feeling that it's in control, and the feeling that, it gives it power over the pain. Because, so literally just try that right now. to try, close your eyes, okay? Think about what kind of pain you're feeling. Feel that pain connecting to a certain area in your brain. It doesn't have to be a specific place, but just in your brain, feel where that pain is happening. I want you to see that glowing red hot dot. Inhale, see that thing glowing, just shining red hot. Exhale, and see the light getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And there's probably a little bit of light left, so let's inhale again. So inhaling, you're seeing it glow again, but it's not glowing as bright. Exhale. So now you'll see it dim even more to the point where there's just, a little glimmer of red light. Inhale again. See all that red light glowing. Feel that pain expanding. Exhale. Feel that pain slowly going away. And now the light should almost not be visible. Now just visualize your brain being completely dark. No red at all. So your body should feel significantly better than it was just 2 minutes ago. And so you can feel right now the effects of something like this exercise where, you're visualizing the pain and visualizing it going away. For me, when I was in the hospital and they first taught me about this exercise, I was still in a wheelchair at that point. And it was helping me immediately. But then maybe 30 minutes, 60 minutes later, I would start feeling the headaches slowly coming back. And I would start, feeling the symptoms slowly coming back, the painful legs, things like that. But I would just keep practicing that. And over time, I had to do it less and less. So these kind of brain retraining exercise and meditation, it's very intense in the beginning of your recovery because you're really needing to get out of that hole. For me, it was a mixture of doing the brain retraining exercises, a completely different environment I was in, which is, get this, pretty crazy, but I was in the hospital for 4 weeks in ICU. Then they're like, okay, your liver, your body, your nerve tests are all completely fine. They check out. We have to send you home, but if you do want to stay here and work with a doctor one-on-one, we have an extra room in the psychiatric ward. So if you're up for it, you can be a voluntary patient and stay there so you can learn from the doctor. Long story short, I stayed there for about 3.5 weeks. Honestly, most fun times in my life. If you want me to break that down in another video, I could literally do a full-on story time, like 30 minutes long. We did some pretty crazy stuff in there in a good way. It was great. Like, I made friends with all the people there. They were great people. I learned a lot. That was one of the turning points because it shifted my environment, but that's where I learned all of these things from my doctor because I got to work with him every day, which is the main reason I agreed to stay in a place like that. But anyways, going off on a tangent here, back to the main point, that is the most impactful brain retraining exercise that worked for me, that I saw results from, that even to this day, if I think of one exercise that impacted me the most, it had to be that specific exercise. I don't really have a name for it. I should probably name it or something. I should probably trademark it or I'm joking. But yeah, seeing those pain centers glowing and then diminishing. It got to the point where, I really understood that these episodes of pain were not negative things. They're opportunities to rewire your brain. When your brain wants to go down one route of chronic pain, you rewire it and force it to go down another route. That's the whole point of neuroplasticity and brain retraining. You're retraining it to go a different route. So when you are experiencing this pain, for me, I didn't see it as something negative. It got to the point where I was like, great, I got symptoms to work with. This is where the practice happens. Like, this is literally the practice. This is where it counts the most when I'm in pain. And then over time, the pain was less and less. And like I said, I would even push myself so that I could feel symptoms, so that I could, work on retraining the brain. So maybe I'll do another video where I actually draw it on a diagram, what I mean by the pain centers and how, it goes from 10% pain to 90% processing senses. In extreme cases, it goes to 50% pain, 50% processing senses. But I hope that helps a lot. I'm sure it will. We did that very quick exercise. Try that. Try that multiple times a day. The more you do it, the better you will get. Honestly, it was honestly life-changing for me. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got some value out of it, hit the like button below, comment down what other kind of videos you would like to see me create, other topics you want me to cover. I have a bunch ready. Like I said, I'm going to try to release 2 to 3 of these a week, but just, appreciate the support on the channel. I do this to help you guys because, I feel like I learned all of these things on my journey, so I just want to help you guys on your journey. Hopefully one day you'll be messaging me and we'll be laughing about this whole thing and being like, hey, remember that time when I was super sick, reached out to you? you showed me this exercise and now I'm so much better. And that's actually happened with a couple people. You know, they've felt better. One person in particular that's fully recovered. I'm looking at stories and she's like freaking partying now. So she really has her life back. She has a family, everything. But you know, if I can do it, if other people can get better, then I have no doubt that you can get better. Obviously, your situation isn't exactly the same as mine. You might have different stressors, different things that make you take different symptoms. But at the end of the day, you know, the brain is the brain, science is science. An exercise this will 100% help you move the needle forward and help you towards your full recovery. So I hope you have a great day. If you're struggling right now, then just, you know, stay strong, keep going. Watch my other videos where I talk about a few different topics. If you haven't already, I'm going to say this in every video, but watch the main video where I break down the science to my recovery. It's where I talk about almost everything. I give a general overview of everything the doctor taught me. It's not super in depth, but you know, it's very general of all the different ideas he taught me, and it's a lot of people have found it very helpful. If you want to reach me personally, just reach out to me on Instagram. My handle is at Miguel Bautista Media. Forgive me if I don't respond right away because I'm quite busy running my video business, but I love hearing back from you guys and giving back to you guys and giving you tools that will help you on your journey. So I'm signing off here. Stay strong and continue on your way towards a healthy and lasting recovery. I'll see you guys next time.